As the nights grow longer and the air turns cold, the world seems to remember its oldest fears. Tonight, we journey beneath the surface of earth, sea, and dream, into the realm of creatures that wait for those brave or foolish enough to seek them. The Nuckalavee, a nightmare born from the storms that batter the shores of Scotland's Orkney Islands. Those who've seen it speak of a horse and rider fused together, their bodies slick and red, stripped entirely of skin. Veins and muscle glisten in the moonlight, and the stench of rot follows wherever it goes. When the Nuckalavee comes ashore, the wind dies, the sea turns still, and illness soon follows. In ancient tales, it was said to be the most terrifying of all sea demons, a creature that despised all life. Its breath could wither crops, dry up freshwater springs, and spread sickness across entire villages. The only thing it feared was fresh water, so islanders knew to cross a stream if they ever heard hooves echoing behind them at night. Some believed the Nuckalavee served as punishment from the gods for human greed, sent to remind mortals how thin the line between prosperity and ruin truly is. Sightings were rare, but fishermen spoke of seeing ripples move against the current, followed by the hiss of steam rising from saltwater as the beast emerged. Its head was grotesquely large, its mouth twisted into a grin that stretched too far, and its single bloodshot eye burned like a dying ember. Those unlucky enough to meet its gaze were said to waste away within days. Even now, locals say that on stormy nights, when sea spray mixes with mist and the waves crash in unnatural rhythm, the Nuckalavee rides again. So, if you ever hear the thud of hooves coming from the ocean instead of the shore, run and don't look back. Yet, not all monsters hide in ancient waters. Some are born much closer to home. The black dog, a phantom hound said to haunt graveyards, crossroads, and lonely country lanes. Its form shifts from a shadow with burning eyes to a massive beast whose footsteps make no sound. Wherever it appears, misfortune soon follows. Those who have seen it say its fur seems to absorb light itself, and its breath hangs in the air like smoke, even when the night is still. Legends of the black dog stretch across centuries and continents. In England, it is called Black Shuck, said to roam the coastal roads of Norfolk and Suffolk. In Scotland, they whisper of Coo Sith, the green-black fairy hound, whose howl foretells death. Across Ireland and Wales, similar tales speak of ghostly canines that guard the gates of the underworld or guide lost souls to the afterlife. Their eyes, always glowing red or yellow, are the only certainty shared among the stories. Sightings most often occur near places of transition, crossroads, bridges, churchyards, where the living and the dead are said to meet. Travelers have reported hearing claws scrape the stones behind them, or catching a glimpse of two burning eyes reflected in the mist before vanishing without a trace. Some say the beast is a guardian, not a curse, that it protects those who walk alone at night. Others claim it follows only the doomed. Today, the black dog remains a symbol of death and dread, its legend woven into Halloween folklore itself. It is a reminder that as the veil between worlds thins, not every shadow that follows you home belongs to your own. Not every spirit hunts in anger. Some simply wander in sorrow. From the hound's shadow emerges another apparition. Deep within the tangled forests of New Jersey's Pine Barrens, there's a legend whispered for over 3 centuries, the tale of the Jersey Devil. Locals say it moves between the trees with the sound of flapping wings and a high, unearthly scream that cuts through the night. Those who glimpse it describe a creature with the body of a horse, the wings of a bat, a forked tail, and a face both human and monstrous. It is said to be the 13th child of a cursed mother, born not of man, but of a curse that took shape. The story begins in the early 1700s with a woman known as Mother Leeds. Pregnant with her 13th child and driven to despair, she cried out that the child would be the devil himself. On a stormy night, the baby was born ordinary, but moments later, it changed. Before horrified eyes, it sprouted wings, horns, and a tail, shrieking before escaping up the chimney and vanishing into the woods. Since that night, the creature has been blamed for strange cries, mutilated livestock, and eerie footprints found in the snow. Over the centuries, the Jersey Devil has become the dark mascot of the region. Soldiers, farmers, and even police have claimed to see its silhouette gliding over the pines. In the early 1900s, panic spread as newspapers reported dozens of sightings in a single week. Even today, some say it still circles above the forest, searching for the home it was cursed to leave. So if you ever find yourself driving through the Pine Barrens happens on a moonless night. Roll up your windows when you hear wings above, because the 13th child still cries for its mother, and for anyone who dares to follow its sound. Which of these legends would keep you awake tonight? Let me know in the comments below. The next beings on our list aren't from legend or scripture, but from the corner of your eye. They are the shadow people, figures that move between waking and dream. You never see them straight on. Only when you look away or drift at the edge of sleep do they shift. Dark outlines against darker walls, human in shape but wrong in motion. Some say they fade when noticed, swear they lean closer. Reports of these figures appear across cultures and centuries. In ancient folklore, they were called night watchers or living shadows, spirits that fed on fear and confusion. In the Middle East, old tales spoke of Qorin, ghostly doubles bound to every person since birth. In the modern age, the stories have changed names but not shape. People experiencing sleep paralysis often describe seeing them standing nearby, silent, patient, and aware. No one knows what they want. Some researchers suggest they're tricks of the mind, a fragment of consciousness projected into the dark. But too many witnesses describe the same thing, the sense of being studied, the electric stillness in the air, the whisper of movement without sound. One shadow in particular, tall, hat-brimmed, and featureless, appears in accounts around the world, as if one entity walks between dreams wearing the same shape each time. On Halloween night, when waking and dreaming blur, people say the shadow people grow bolder. So if you wake and sense movement in the corner of your room, don't turn to look, because if you meet their gaze, you might not wake again. Shadows fade, but something far worse takes their place, a being that can wear your voice, your face, even your life. Our next creature is one of the most feared in all Native American folklore, the Skinwalker, a shapeshifter said to wear the flesh of those it kills. The name alone carries such dread that many Navajo refuse to speak it aloud. It is said to walk on two legs, sometimes four, moving with a speed and silence that no living thing should possess. Those who see it say its eyes glow with an unnatural light, and its voice, when it chooses to speak, sounds almost human, but not quite. The legend of the Skinwalker comes from the traditions of the Navajo, where it is known as a Ye Naldlushi, meaning with it, he goes on all fours. In their stories, it is a witch who gains the power to transform into any animal by wearing its hide. But to earn that power, one must commit the unthinkable, take the life of a family member. In doing so, the witch is consumed by darkness and cursed to roam the desert night forever, neither fully human nor beast. The Skinwalker can mimic voices, lure travelers from their camps, and appear as someone you know until it is far too late to run. For generations, sightings have been reported in the deserts of Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah. Drivers tell of figures running alongside their cars at impossible speeds. Ranchers wake to find animals mutilated and tracks that vanish mid-stride. Many who live near the reservations still refuse to go out after dark, saying that once a Skinwalker marks you, it never forgets. People claim to hear laughter echoing across the mesas, laughter that begins human and ends in a snarl. So, if you find a lone coyote watching you from the dark, don't call its name, because it may already be wearing yours. And if the Skinwalker is the hunter, the next is the herald, appearing not to kill, but to warn of death itself. Our next creature is a modern omen of disaster, the Mothman, the red-eyed shadow that appears before tragedy. First sighted in the town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia in the late 1960s, it was described as a towering, winged figure with eyes that glowed like burning coals. Witnesses said it flew without sound, gliding over rooftops and following cars down lonely roads. Wherever it appeared, fear followed, and soon after, something terrible would happen. The first known encounters began in 1966, when two couples reported a gray creature with 10-foot wings near an old TNT factory. Within months, dozens of others claimed to see it perched on bridges, trees, and church steeples. The sightings reached their height just before December 15, 1967, the night the Silver Bridge collapsed, killing 46 people. After that tragedy, the Mothman vanished, and locals began to wonder if it had come as a warning or as the cause. Similar reports have since surfaced around the world, before mine disasters, plane crashes, even nuclear accidents. Each time, witnesses describe the same shape: silent wings, crimson eyes, and a feeling that death is close at hand. Some believe it is a guardian spirit, others a cursed angel drawn to suffering. Skeptics say it's an owl, a trick of the dark, but those who've seen it say its gaze is too deliberate, too knowing. On Halloween night, when the air is heavy and the sky glows faintly red, people in Point Pleasant still avoid the river bridge, because if the Mothman ever returns, it means something terrible is coming, and there's nothing anyone anyone can do to stop it. But even omens have limits, because beneath every fear we've named, something much older is waiting below, where light has never been. Our final creature comes from the deepest reaches of creation itself, the Leviathan, the serpent of the sea's ancient wrath, described in scripture and myth alike. It is said to be a creature of impossible size, its coils wrapping the ocean floor, its scales like iron shields that no blade can pierce. When it stirs, storms rise without warning, and the sea itself seems to tremble. Those who claim to have seen it say the water darkens first, then churns, and in that chaos, two eyes open beneath the waves, vast and cold as eternity. The earliest stories of the Leviathan come from the Old Testament, where it was named among the primal beasts of chaos, born before man, destined to be slain only at the world's end. In Hebrew tradition, it was both a monster and a symbol of God's dominion over the untamable. Yet the myth didn't stay confined to one faith. Sailors across centuries spoke of a sea serpent large enough to drag ships into the abyss. In medieval Europe, it was said that the devil himself rode the Leviathan as his steed, commanding tempests to devour the proud. In later centuries, explorers and whalers returned with tales of massive shadows moving beneath their vessels, too long, too deliberate, too silent to be whales. Some believed the Leviathan never died, only sank deeper, waiting in the blackest trench where sunlight has never touched. Scientists may call it legend, but the ocean hides more than it reveals, and the oldest fears are born from what we cannot see. So when the sea grows still and the horizon disappears into fog, sailors still whisper a single prayer before they sleep, because if the Leviathan ever rises again, the world will remember what true terror sounds like. If these stories stirred your imagination or sent a chill through your room, don't let the night end here. More creatures and legends are waiting to be uncovered, each darker than the last. Let us know in the comments which one haunted you most, and remember to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss what waits in the next darkness. Until then, keep your candles burning, your doors closed, and your curiosity alive.